Christmas with some family members. So right now I'm in a room full of boxes, and I hope you can still hear me just fine. I want to talk about the glut, all of a sudden, the exact reversal of our pharmacy job market. There are so many COVID-19 jobs out there. It seems like it's easier and easier these days to get a job. There's been an explosion of growth of hiring techs, nurses, and of course, pharmacists. And I think it's important to consider, do you really want to take that job? Do you want to jump into that? So I wanted to give you 5 questions to ask yourself before you take that job. Some things to consider, some warning signs, and potentially what it means for the future of your career. So let's hop into them. The first one is pretty simple. Are you going directly to the employer? So right now, there's been a lot of people being reached out by recruiters and some other information brokers, you could call them, about the jobs that are available to them. I don't want to attack their job security, but they're doing their jobs and you don't necessarily need them. Just go straight to the employer is really the lesson here. Go to the employer's website, find the local job posting, do a little bit of digging and research, because if you go through a recruiter, they get a cut. It takes away some of your negotiation power, if you have any at all. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. You do have negotiation power. And there are a lot of openings still, even though many of them are taken, some people already started. But if you're still looking or considering it, go to the employer website first. And ideally, if you've been networking, contact the people that you know who know the right people. Go to super connectors, pharmacists that are already in the organization that you're considering taking that COVID-19 job. Get a recommendation from them, start a conversation, doing some simple networking. I really don't like networking, but doing it will make your journey that much easier. But the second question I want you to consider is, where will it lead you to? Where will it lead you to? This is a temporary job. Once the vaccine gets out there, we know that not everyone's going to need it. And so it doesn't mean that you will be added on. In fact, what I'm very afraid about is contractor pharmacists who have been promised things. I've heard it over and over again when working in contract situation, people feel like they are promised more than what's delivered. So you have to consider, where is this temporary job going to lead you to? What's the end goal? Do you have a clear understanding of where your career trajectory is going? Because in some cases, taking the wrong job doesn't set you up for success. Now, look, if you don't have a job right now, by all means, take it, get it, because you need money, you need to pay your bills, you've got responsibilities. But if you are in a position where you have a job, you feel fairly secure about it, taking a temporary COVID job to get out there may not necessarily land you in the right place. Now, there are ways of maneuvering that temporary job into a permanent job. There are different things that you can do to get yourself more involved, to create indispensable value in the company, but you have to understand the end goal. Where is it going to lead? So if I'd love to hear, where do you want to end up in your pharmacy career? What kind of jobs are you looking for? And most importantly, to ask yourself, does a COVID job lead me in the direction that I want to go? The third question I want you to ask is, what are you giving up? Everyone's got FOMO. I have it. And I think you have it too. And money now and getting the benefits and a signing bonus doesn't equate to more money later. By pursuing a COVID job, you potentially are giving up on the plenty of other job opportunities that are open right now. In a few weeks, I'm going to be sharing more with everyone here on LinkedIn, a resource that I found that has a lot of jobs and has a lot of things that other job sites don't have. If you're on my email list, you may have already gotten some information about this. But if you pursue this COVID job, it's not going to be around forever. And they're hiring thousands of people. So you're going into an industry that literally will die within a few months. It's going to dry up, and they will not seek to give you a job thereafter. We already know that many of these companies they're cutting people left and right. They will not seek to employ you afterwards. So what are you giving up now? If you jump into this, you're going to have to dedicate yourself. You're not going to want to give up, because if you do, you lose your signing bonus. So if you're already trying to get a job in another area, if you're trying to get a job where, heck, it's not even related, like something in pharma, maybe medical writing, you potentially are setting yourself up, I wouldn't say for failure, but instead a significant detour in your career. I can't tell you how many times I've done this in my own business where I shift to a new project, a new idea, and it totally kills the progress that the business has made up to that point because I've shifted my focus. I've shifted away from it. You don't want to shift away from your end goal in your career. You do, and you lose momentum. So I would encourage you, keep that end goal in mind so that you don't deviate from it. The fourth question I want you to ask yourself is, have you negotiated? I think the job market has made pharmacists in general kind of dulled their senses for asking for what they're worth. And it's because of the job market, it's because of how desperate we feel. I think you need to ask for what you're worth. And I would even go further to say, I think you need to negotiate for your bonus. I think you need to do some hard calculations after it. If you want more negotiation advice, we have a book about pharmacist salary and negotiation guides. We've got dozens of testimonials of pharmacists who've earned, $4,000, $5,000 more annual because of their just going through this book. It's like 50 pages long. Just send me a private message and we'll send it over to you. Happy to give that to you. But it's worth negotiating for. You are worth it. You're providing value. And when you think about it, that signing bonus, if you take it, it's not going to help out too much. It's not going to send you further in your career. It's going to be temporary money that just gives it to you as you are right in this moment, and it will not sustain you. So I'd encourage you, ask for more, but you need a strategy. So check out my negotiation book. Again, just send me a message and we'll send it over to you. And then the fifth and final question is, how can you use this job for your next job? If you do take it, what can you say about it that can leverage yourself into the next interview? Because you will have to interview. You won't have this job forever. And be considering what you're going to be doing in this job. In many cases, you're going to be giving vaccines. There will be some clerical work, some managerial work, and that is the kind of information that you really want to hone in on, because that valuable expertise that can be leveraged, that can be used into the next career path. So be sure that you understand all of your responsibilities and how you can leverage those to your next job. Because if you get the kind of job where you're going to be giving vaccines all hours of the day, the next job probably won't find that valuable. Why? Because we probably won't have another pandemic. I mean, COVID-19, it's gonna last a few more months, maybe another year. We don't know. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but it won't last. We won't probably get another. We won't get COVID 2021. It's probably not going to happen. And so, if that's the case, consider the skills that you're going to gain through this experience and how you can leverage that into your next career. Hey, if you're considering going for the COVID-19 job that you've been looking at, or if you're wondering about what you should do next, we do free consultations. Happy to talk with you. Just go to thehappypharmd.com/consultation. We'll ask you a few questions about your situation. We're happy to chat. We're happy to give advice because we talk with hundreds of pharmacists. Literally, we just checked. We've talked with, I think it's like 560? No, 525 pharmacists we've talked to this year. So we've given a lot of advice away. We've given a lot of help to pharmacists just in their situation. We don't work with everyone, but we would be happy to help you with where you're at. So check it out, thehappypharmd.com/consultation. I'll put it in, I don't know. I'll use this. Oh yeah. I can use this. Look at this. I can create a banner and I can show it. Look at that. I love technology. We'd be happy to talk with you because this is our life's work at the Happy Farm D. And if you, again, want any of the resources that I talked about, that negotiation guide, just send me a message on LinkedIn. That's where I'm the most active. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, I'm sorry. We try to respond as much best we can. But thank you again for watching this video. If you have any questions about what we're working on, send us a message. We'd be happy to help you. Thanks again, and I hope you are having